Hey, stars. I hope you guys are having a great week. This is Shorter Star, and I have some topics that I want to share with you guys today. Again, thank you for your support. Thank you for your views and your likes, and those that subscribe and share. I just appreciate it all. We're going to get straight to it. We have, um, well, okay, 40 universities make students of divorced parents pay more in tuition. Now, I know that might sound a little weird, but what happens is there's 40 universities that make their students that are have divorced parents pay more, because what happens is when you do financial aid and different things like that, I think you have to use both financials from the parents, but they don't take into consideration that the parents are separated or divorced and live in separate lives. So the incomes are not held in one place, meaning in one home. So it's being divided, doing whatever. So it's a lawsuit has been filed. Two students um complain, and they realize that it's not fair, and but there's a lawsuit going, and I have to give this credit to Indisputable with Dr. Rashid Ritchie. I watch him on YouTube, and just give me a few minutes. Listen, let's see how this goes.
40 universities charge students more money if they have divorced parents. Hell of a thing. Put it at full mass. This sounds ridiculous, right? Well, it is. Universities make students with divorced parents pay more money. According to a federal lawsuit, Penn, Villanova, and 38 other universities allegedly formed a cartel of sorts to make students with divorced parents actually pay more money. The class action lawsuits alleged that the 40 universities conspired with College Board to offer financial aid based on the income of a divorced parent, even if that parent does not have custody. The proposal.
Well, with all that being said, listen, education is overwhelming for most. And what I would say would be, these universities are making hand over fist. It's just, that's why a lot of students are going online, and that's why a lot of people are getting degrees in other ways, other places. And then we're talking about jobs in the job market nowadays. A lot of degrees aren't even necessary, to be really honest with you. I have friends that maybe working on their masters or maybe even have their masters, and I've made more money than them without any of that. So it all depends on, I guess, where you are and what you're doing. And I'll keep this going ahead, and whatever whatever the new outcome for it will be, I'll keep you guys informed. I think it's interesting. Moving along, well, we can still can say President Biden, right? Well, President Biden, I guess he's trying to do the last hurrah, with it being a few weeks from election. Well, President Biden has approved 175 billion in student loan forgiveness for nearly 5 million people. So, I mean, I'm sure there's going to be a lot of people that can take advantage of the situation. I do know a few people, less than a handful, that have reaped the benefits of this student loan forgiveness. So I guess they're trying to push it and have it more so that he's remembered. Every president has to do something that they stand for, and they have to make one big gesture. And I might say it's a great gesture. I mean, definitely. I mean, people are really suffering and going through it financially at this point. I'm going to read something. With less than 3 weeks before the November election, the Biden-Harris administration is reminding voters how it has delivered a historic amount of student debt relief, even as Republicans have challenged several of its efforts in court. Um, Another round of forgiveness was announced Thursday, bringing the total amount of student loan cancellation to more than 175 billion. That's roughly equal to 11% of all outstanding federal student loan debt. I mean, so it's going to definitely help some people, and you know, hopefully, some of us are in the numbers. How about that? Um, Puffy. Let's get to some Puffy news. I found this different, and I'm sure some of you guys have also, where we've been joking around for weeks and weeks about all the baby oil, and now we're starting to understand why there's so much baby oil. Um, Puffy Combs alleged used baby oil laced with I would say, a SA drug. It's GBH is the drug, and it's different. I mean, now that you think of it, if you, instead of having people take pills, or besides with the liquor, and, I actually heard him do an interview on one of the late night shows. This is a few years ago, not too long ago. And he was stating how they were asking him about his parties, and he was saying how his parties are legendary and everybody has a great time. And he says, I served the best liquor, and then I turned the heat up. And the guy was like, turn the heat up? And he was like, yeah, because when it's hot, it makes everything that you're doing, it affects you more and you get loose. And I said, wow, this man has really been telling us this all along. And, we weren't paying attention at all, I guess. I mean, you get so numb to it because it's everywhere you go, everywhere you turn, somebody's doing something. So, with that being said, that makes sense. Um, it's they said that going to his parties, partygoers were forced to consume the alcoholic beverages containing GHB, either prior to entering or while at the party. A lot of complaints have said. So when you're arriving, and you have sometimes, if you go into upper class cocktail parties or whatever, when you're walking into the event, there's people there with trays of champagne or whatever. But apparently, well, you know what? Let me since I'm talking about Puffy, let me be careful with him. Because everything is allegedly. Allegedly, you were given these drinks on the way in and or there, either or, but to get the party started as soon as you step out the car, I guess it's on and popping. But again, we have to be careful. Even nowadays, just going out and hanging out places, you put a drink down, and then it's been my rule for years. If I put a drink down and turn away from it, I don't go back to it. It has to stay in my focus. It has to stay in my presence. I don't want it. I don't want it. But I don't know. I just think that with so many people coming out, and a lot of the times the stories are so far apart or something different, but they all kind of sound alike. Um, I'm going to read this. They said that the lawsuit references the allegations against Combe of dousing victims in lotion or similar body oils, and claims these lubricants were laced with GHB so that the drug would be absorbed through the victim's skin and make it easier to take advantage of, exploit, SA, or whatever have you. So we know that there's other ways. I mean, there's more than one way to skin a cat. We all know that. So apparently, allegedly, We got more to come, I'm sure. Again. Well, I started off these series of my on my channel and my videos, and I spoke about mental health because I stated that, because of the pandemic and different things that have gone on, you know, a lot of us have suffered in many different ways besides with loss, um, having to be alone in certain lengths of time, just not being social and being able to communicate in the way that we normally communicate, right? And I speak of mental health, and this is what I mean when I say that. It sometimes things seems okay, but you never know what people are suffering with or what they are going through, mentally. And this is a great representation of, not great, but I mean it brings the point home to where we all need some time. We need someone to talk to, and you never know what a person is necessarily going through. Well, moving along, a 17-year-old senior in Louisiana was unalived by her 21-year-old boyfriend, and he also unalived himself. Um, but what's weird and crazy about this story is, um, it was it happened on the way to homecoming dance. So he apparently was taking her to her homecoming dance. Remember, she's 17, he's 21. So right there, but nevertheless, um, and no one knows why. No, even the police are saying that there's no current, they can't find a current motive. Mental illness is the motive. And what happens is, um, the generation, and we're speaking of 17 to 21, some of us are of a particular age. So it's not our generation or the generation before that, it's the generation before that. And conflict resolution, they don't know conflict resolution. These are things that we learned being out, communicating, making friends, meeting different types of people, learning good people from bad people with experience. You know when you don't like someone or you don't connect with someone. These are the things you learn by socializing, which these young adults and kids don't. Everything is social media, everything is texting. They don't know how to have a conversation on the phone. Um, and there's no person to person. They don't even meet as far as relationships, and they don't meet in person. They meet online. They go through this, they go through that. They come up with this whole illusion of who they think they're talking to, because that's what it is. We don't know. So you come up with this thing of, and then you don't know what demons they're fighting on the inside. And again, for a 17-year-old and a 21-year-old to be unalived like this, and mental illness, you never know what's going on. And it could be something as simple as a simple argument can just, if the person is tick and they're at the edge, you don't know what's going to take them to push them to that edge. And again, it's conflict resolution. They don't know how to have a disagreement and it not get physical, or have a disagreement to the point where sometimes you can't come to a resolution, so you agree to disagree, which means I understand where you stand, you understand where I stand, and it is what it is. We're not going to agree, so let's move on. But respectfully, they don't have that. So um, we have to continue to pray for the young generation, and they're the ones, they're the future. Moving along, um, China, Black China. Black China is now, she announced that she's now engaged. And I don't know, I was thinking lately that I like that. I like Black China. I don't even Angela. I'm sorry because that's not who she is anymore, and I respect that. I respect Angela, and I liked who she's become. I like the softness of her. Um, what I will say is, um, I'm happy that she found someone. She's reversed a lot of that cosmetic, the implants and things like that. She's, in the midst of correcting it, she's getting a lot of acting roles. You're seeing her pop up in, I mean, sometimes Tubi movies and different things, but guess what? She's working. Okay. And I'm happy for her. I watch her. I watched her on this other show I was watching where all of them get together and go back to college and something like that. I'm sorry, forgive me, but I enjoyed her there because she was fighting her demons, and I think she's been sober for a couple of years from alcohol and things like that. So, and she's turned to religion, and she's, I'm not going to call her Bible thumper or anything. We all need something, and we all need someone, and whatever that is, you know. Get it, and she seemed to be better for it. So with all that being said, congratulations, China. I hope it works for you. um Her boyfriend name is Derek Milano, and I hope things work out for them. I'm happy for her. Now, I'm sure that a lot of you now know that Big Meech is released from prison and in a halfway house. Um, so he's going to finish off that with the halfway house. But I'm glad I'm sure his family and his sons and whomever is very happy to see him get out. I wonder what the difference is going to be now that a show is actually running about his life. So, being on the inside, it makes you wonder, you're dealing with that, but yet you're not really able to reap a real benefit when your story is being told on a weekly basis because you're in there. So now to be out and to be able to, and I'm sure now all the back and forth, I'm sure they say that he has to get a job. Please. All the people he know and all the connections he has, people regardless of what. And besides that, his job could be working on his own show. Who's better to have on set to tell you how something went or how it should be or what they felt at that time, the way you can really dig into the character, and for the main character to be his own son playing him is priceless. So again, I hope everything works out for them. I hope he stays on the straight and narrow, and just pray for everyone. Things do happen. God is good regardless of what you think. Um, Again, I just wanted to get on for a little while and and talk to my stars, and I'm actually working on that. I know that this is cancer. um, I want to have a story with a young lady, and I'm working on that as we speak. So again, I want to I just can't express when I come from, I people that know me knew that I got on Facebook and Instagram so many years later than all of the stuff that everybody had. I was anti social media. I'm very private. And but when you get older and your life is settled and it is what it is, you have a story to tell and you want to do something. And I'm very social and I have a lot of friends. Well, I take that back. I know a lot of people. And we have a very close knit group of people that we deal with on a daily basis and stuff, and I cherish that. The village is great, and I just want everyone to remember we have an election coming up in a few weeks. Um, just try to stay focused. I want to get back on. I want to get on some Kamala things and start pushing, so I can kind of give you blow by blow of whatever she's putting out there. I want us to get it and get it right. Because see, a lot of times we get things through the news and there's depends on the outlet. They make it seem this way, we can get it and get it straight and understand it. Again, I hope you guys are having a great week. Have a great weekend. I love you guys for your support. It touches my heart when I watch my videos and the views are in the thousands, go 1,500, and I don't do that, so I don't know. I would like my subscribership to go up, but within everything is within its time. Again, I love you guys. I want you guys to be safe, stay focused, and be intentional. Love you guys.